Critics are raising ethical questions about a gala dinner for investors in President Trump's cryptocurrency meme coin. These meme coins typically have no function. They're inspired by internet names or viral trends, but this one is named after the president, and those who paid millions to buy in gained access to a dinner shrouded in secrecy. ABC News senior political correspondent Rachel Scott has the story.
President Trump arriving back at the White House after hosting a black tie gala for top investors in his cryptocurrency venture.
And thank you all for being here.
An event some critics are slamming as buying access to the most powerful man in the world. More than 200 cryptocurrency traders gathered at the president's Virginia golf course, many from overseas, after winning access to the dinner through a contest that billed the event as the most exclusive invitation in the world. Investors pouring millions into the president's meme coin, a type of digital currency that's inspired by internet names or viral trends. Typically, they have no function beyond speculation and entertainment. The coin, named after Trump, was launched just before he took office in January, but its value plummeted in the weeks that followed, valued at around $7 a token in April. But after the contest was announced, its value skyrocketing as investors jockeyed for access to the event. The top 220 spending more than $140 million collectively to win a ticket. The guest list shrouded in secrecy. Among those spotted arriving at the event, retired NBA player Lamar Odom and Chinese billionaire and cryptocurrency mogul Justin Sun, who previously avoided entering the U.S. and was under investigation by the SEC and DOJ for securities fraud. After President Trump took office, the SEC probe was dropped, and he now claims to be the largest holder of the Trump coin.
Really nice to be here today with everybody in the crypto to witness this great moment of crypto.
Protesters gathered outside the event as critics slammed the gala as a major conflict of interest, arguing the president and his family are benefiting personally from his position of power.
Donald Trump is using the presidency of the United States to make himself richer through crypto.
This is the most corrupt White House in the history of the country.
The White House responding.
The president is abiding by all conflict of interest laws that are applicable to the president.
Rachel Scott, thank you. The vast majority of investors who attended the event remain anonymous, but one of those anonymous attendees told ABC News that he bought a bunch of tokens as soon as President Trump announced the dinner, saying that the opportunity to attend such an event is rare. So joining us now for more is the actor and author of the book Easy Money, Cryptocurrency, Casino, Capitalism, and the Golden Age of Fraud, Ben McKenzie. Welcome to the show, Ben. You were invited to testify at the Senate Banking Committee following the collapse of the once prominent cryptocurrency exchange FTX. And now President Trump is literally the face of a meme coin. So I'm curious, what do you think the effects of his support will have on the cryptocurrency industry?
Well, it's back to a free-for-all. Regulators and law enforcement officials were struggling to keep up in the last boom cycle of 2021, 2022. And then, as you mentioned, in 2022, companies like FTX imploded, as well as dozens of others. And a lot of investors, tens of millions of investors, lost a lot of money. But now that Trump has been reelected and has embraced crypto wholeheartedly, what could possibly go wrong? The market's back up, Bitcoin's back up, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, and Ben, according to CNBC's reporting of blockchain analytics firm Chainalysis data, we got 58 wallets that had made millions from their Trump coin investments as of May 6th, while roughly 764,000 crypto wallets had lost money. If you're an average person, should you feel confident in investing in the Trump coin, given the high-profile support?
Hell no. Hell no, you shouldn't feel confident. No, of course not. I mean, crypto is at best gambling, right? As your perfect piece by Rachel mentioned, there's really only two use cases for crypto. There's speculation, gambling, and then the other one I would add is crime. You can commit crime using crypto, and obviously we've seen a lot of crime that's been committed. But if you're just an average investor and you're gambling on whether the meme coin is going up, good luck. I interviewed a lot of them for the book. And often, even when they lose, even when they win, they lose in the sense that their value via these crypto exchanges may have gone up, their account, but they can't get their money out when they try to cash out. So it's the Wild West. Most of these exchanges, a lot of them are run through shell corporations in the Caribbean. That's where FTX was headquartered. And so you're connecting your bank account or your banking information to a shell corporation in the Caribbean and banking there. I'm not here to offer financial advice, but I think that's a pretty risky bet.
Well, and Ben, the other piece of this is much of this has been shrouded in secrecy. So you got no public guest lists provided to the media. You think that's an issue?
Of course, and let's talk about where that comes from at its root. It comes from blockchain. Blockchain is a way, it's a ledger, a way of storing information. But what it's used for in crypto is to obscure who owns what, who owns which of these so-called wallets that have purchased the cryptocurrency. So why would you want to obscure that? And wouldn't that lead people to a lot of nefarious activity as they can sort of inflate the values of these currencies by trading coins back and forth amongst themselves, what's called wash trading? It's a recipe for disaster. And I think one of the things that people really need to understand, the word currency here is just, it's misapplied. People are putting money into these things, trying to make money off of them. That is an investment, quite frankly, just plain English. And these should be classified as securities. I argued that in front of the Senate Banking Committee in 2022. But unfortunately, that ship seems to have sailed. Donald Trump and his administration is rapidly undoing whatever safeguards were in place before he was reelected. And people are going to be gambling wildly on this stuff. And I'm afraid that a lot of crime will be committed.
Ben McKenzie, I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.